Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to Babylon Talmud. Today we're studying Daf Kuf Yud Beis, Daf 112 of Masechta Pesachim. What can I tell you about Daf 112? I don't know, it's a continuation of yesterday. Does that say anything? Probably. A whole bunch of kind of out there agadatas. At the end, though, we see a shtickle story with Reb Chanina ben Dosa, which of course is everybody's, I don't know, I think that's usually fun. I know Lauren is a Reb Chanina ben Dosa fan, which I'm sure that most of us could probably join her on that. So let's get started here. We're in Daf Kuf Yud Aleph Beis. We got a little bit of work to do over here. About 8 lines from the bottom. I'll give you a second to find it. It's Amar of Yosef. 2, 4, 6, 8 lines from the bottom. Amar of Yosef in the middle of the line. Hanitlas mile yohev arvona lenahora. Okidoki. The following 3 inyanim cause blindness. Mandesarik reisha yavish. If you comb your hair when your hair is dry, so you'll be blind. Umandeshasi tif tif. If you drink like dripping stuff from like a wine barrel, so like if you have like a dripping wine barrel and just kind of like lie down under it with your mouth open, you'll go blind. Umandemsai misane adamaisone kara. And if you put on your shoes while your feet are wet. Alright. If you hang bread in your house, so if you take like some bread and put it in like a basket and hang the basket from the ceiling, kashilan yusa, so you might become poor. Kedamri inshe, as people say, tala silta tala mizone. If you hang a basket with bread, you're hanging or suspending your sustenance, i.e. you'll be poor. Now that's specifically bread, but if you hang meat or fish, that's okay because because that is, I don't know, people hang meat and stuff, I guess like smoked, dried kind of inyonim, I guess. If you have bran in your house, that's a problem. You might become poor. If you have breadcrumbs in your house, you might become poor. Because on Friday nights and Wednesday nights, Tuesday nights I think actually, the mazikin kind of like the demons kind of go out and are attracted to, I guess, the bran and the breadcrumbs, and you know, if you're around, then it's kind of a conflict of interest in a certain extent, meaning, I guess it's almost like the Baba Machteres Indian, I don't know. The demons come and they want your bran or your breadcrumbs, and if you're around, then you might get hurt. Isar Dimzone Nokid Shmei. The demon of sustenance is called Nokid. Yisar Dan Yusa Novel Shmei, and the demon of poverty, it's called Novel. Okay, and the reason is because Nakid is like from Naki, from like being clean. So okay, there's somebody who's clean, so then he doesn't have to worry about the demon of Nakid, and he'll get food and stuff. But somebody Naval is like dirty and stuff. So somebody's dirty, so then the demon of poverty may be attracted to your dirtiness and make you poor. Okay. So if you have a plate at the opening of a barrel, so then you might become poor. So somebody who drinks water from plates, you can go blind. If you eat cress and you don't wash your hands, then you'll be sort of anxious for 30 days. If you bloodlet and you don't wash your hands, then you'll be anxious for 7 days. If a person pashit gets a haircut and he doesn't wash his hands afterwards, so he'll be anxious for 3 days. And if you cut your nails and you don't wash your hands afterwards, so you'll be anxious for 1 day. And he won't know why he's being so anxious, but if he learns Daf Kuf Yud Beis of Masechta Pesachim, he'll know. Yoda apusa darga l'shinsa. Did I skip something? I did. Yoda us yodaga lefachta, if your hand is like between your upper lip and your nose, so then you're gonna become anxious. Yoda apusa daga lishinsa, if your hand is on your forehead, so that's an indication that you're sleepy. Tana, we learn in a brisa, ochlun umashkin tachas amita. Maybe people have heard of this Indian, that if you have food and drink under your bed, afilu mechupim b'chli barzel, even if they are enclosed in a iron vessel, the evil spirits can rest upon them. That was like an Indian in summer camp, because in summer camp, right, everyone experienced this, right? Truth is, it really happened more when I got older, and I went to Camp Morish Shakola, Isaac Lebwell, and I had Arizona iced tea under my bed, and I was advised that I should probably move it out from underneath the bed because of these demonic inyanim. Yeah, Koponim, let's go weiter. Taner Rabbanon, the rabbis taught, don't drink water on Tuesday nights and on Friday nights. And if you do, drink water so your blood is on your head, because it's dangerous. My sakana, what's so dangerous? Ruach ra, some kind of evil spirit. What if you're thirsty? So lema shiva kolis. So if it's a Tuesday night or a Friday night and you're thirsty, so before drinking, say the following in Yonim. Vado nishte, and then drink. Shenemar, as the pasuk says, Kol Hashem alamayim, kel hakovod hiram Hashem amayim rabim, Kol Hashem b'koach, Kol Hashem b'hodor, Kol Hashem shor v'arozim, v'yashav Hashem zazeh elvonon, Kol Hashem chotzev l'avaseish, Kol Hashem yochel midbar, yochel Hashem midbar kodesh, Kol Hashem yochel ayalos, v'echsof yaros v'echolu kulo omer kavod. You got to say all those in Yonim, right? In the Tilim of Mizmor LeDavid, Havul Hashem b'nei Elim. So there's 7. It says the word kol, voice, 7 times in the context of water. So say all of those 7 kolos alamoyim. You got to make a bracha at some point, and then you could drink the water. Ve'ilo le'machi, and if for whatever reason you're not going to do this, so then say the following: Lul shafan anigun anudafin ben koch ve'yasivna ben bli shmeni azilna. Okay. So then you could say the following, which is Lul shafan anigun anudafin, which is some kind of incantation. Ben koch ve'yasivna, I sit among the stars. Ben bli shmeni azilna, and I go among those who are skinny and those who are fat. Meaning, I think he's saying like, hey, demon people, take someone else, I guess. Leave me alone. Ve'ilo, and if he doesn't do this inyan, so then i'ika inish bahade, well, if there's somebody next to you, nisari, wake him up, ve'le and say to your friend, planya bar plansa tzachina maya, I, Shmerel, the son of, what do they use for like girls' names? There's like Shmerel and Beryl, there's no shortage of men's kind of names, but what about for girls? I don't know. I, Shmerel, the son of so-and-so, Tzachina Maya, I'm thirsty. And then drink. So wake up your friend, say that you're thirsty, and then drink. Vilo mekarkish nachtama achatzba. Okay, and if you don't have a friend Darton, or he won't wake up, whatever it is, or maybe you're scared of him, so then you like bang like a cover against the barrel, and then you can drink it. Okay. Vilo nishde midi. Or you could just throw something into the water and then drink. The rabbis taught, person shouldn't drink from rivers or from ponds at night. And if you did, your blood is on your head. Because it's dangerous. My sakana, what's so dangerous? Sakana shavrire. Okay, you have to be concerned about shavrire. That's what's so dangerous. But what if you're thirsty? What do you do? So if there's somebody with you, so say to this fellow, plani bar plansa tzachina maya. I, Shmerel, the son of so and so, I'm thirsty. And if there's nobody there, or for whatever reason he doesn't want to say that to his friend, so let him say let him say it himself. Planya omra li imi. I guess my mother told me. Is dar mishavire shavire brie rire yiri tzachina mai b'chase chivari. So he says it's like the original Nanach. You ever heard of that Indian? Nanach, Nachman, Nachman, Meuman. So it's like a similar Indian. Mishavrire, Shavrire, Brire, Rire, Yiri, Ri. Okay. So, although I guess this is going in the opposite direction of Nanach. Nanach is building. This is sort of breaking apart. Anyways, meaning it's going from big to small. And then you say, I'm thirsty for water in white cups, and then the demons leave you alone. So we say that somebody who's poor, so they still have to drink dalit kosis, even if they are so poor that they eat out of the communal food distribution. Pshita, this is obvious that they have to do, even accept wine from the communal distribution for dalit kosis, right? Meaning we said afilu oni should be Yisrael in pochsen lo dalit kosis, right? Vafilu min atamchui. So we already said that somebody who's a poor person still needs to drink dalit kosos. So I guess the assumption is if it applies to poor people, then it would be even min atamchui. Okay, even from like the communal distribution. So pshita, so lo nitzchel afilu Rabbi Akiva. So the point is that this is even according to Rabbi Akiva. The Omar say Shabbos chachov al titztarich labrios. Rabbi Akiva says, as we learned in Masechta Shabbos, that better to make Shabbos into just like not particularly special. If it means that, let's say, you have to eat meals on Shabbos that are the same as you eat during the week, better to do that than to have to accept donations from other people. So nonetheless, nisa moda, which is interesting, that over here by Daled Kosas he says specifically it's Presume Nisa. It's very interesting to think about that the Daled Kosas is in the context of Presume Nisa, publicizing the miracle that happened to the Yidden in Egypt. So therefore, even though Rabbi Akiva in general would say do whatever you can to avoid accepting communal donations, nonetheless, when it comes to Arba Kosas, he would say even if it means that you have to accept communal donations, accept them so that you can fulfill the Daled Kosas, and don't say, okay, so I just won't use Daled Kosas rather than accept communal donations. No, in this context, accept the donations to buy Daled Kosas. Tana de Eliyahu, we learn by the Besmedrash of Eliyahu, Afapisha Amar Rabbi Akiva se Shabbos chachov al titztarich labrios. Even though Rabbi Akiva says better to make your Shabbos mundane rather than to accept donations, communal donations, but nonetheless he should do something small in his house. So now let's go back there for a second. Maininu, so what is this small thing? It's like fried fish. So I took a look at the article, because what exactly does this mean, right? So he gave two options. Meaning, because we said, I say Shabbos chachov al titztarich labrios, right? Say better to make your Shabbos mundane rather than have to rely on donations. And then it says, but do something small. So there's two ways to understand that. Meaning, but do something small could mean, but you do accept donations at least to do something. Ki'ilu, we're saying, don't accept communal donations in order to make something fancy, whatever, just do something basic like you would do during the week. But, if it means that your mom is not going to have anything special for Shabbos, so then accept communal donations, at least just have something. The other way to understand is that no, meaning don't accept communal donations. Better to make your Shabbos mundane rather than to have to rely on communal donations. But nonetheless, if there's anything you can do to maybe, exert yourself a little bit more so you can have a little bit of fried fish, do that. Okay, the Tanan, as we learn in a Mishnah, Rabbi Yehuda ben Tema Omer, says Rabbi Yehuda ben Tema, Avi Oz kan Omer, be strong like a leopard, Vikal kan Esher, and swift like an eagle, Rotz katzvi, run fast like a deer, Vigibra ka'ari, and strong like a lion, to do the will of your Father in heaven. So I guess maybe that's going on like to exert yourself a little bit more in order to have something special for Shabbos. Tanu Rabbanan, the Rabbis Toshe v'dvarim, Tziva Rabbi Akiva, es Rabbi Yoshua beno. So Rabbi Akiva instructed his son, Yoshua, 7 things. Now, and as Rashbam points out that this is Rabbi Yoshua ben Korcha. Rabbi Yoshua ben Korcha was the son of Rabbi Akiva. Very interesting. So there are 7 inyanim that Rabbi Akiva instructed his son, Rabbi Yoshua ben Korcha. And Rashbam also says, why is he called Korcha? Because Rabbi Akiva was bald. So they called Rabbi Yoshua the son of the bald one. Alright? Interesting. Bini, my son, Ateshev begova shalir v'tishane. Don't sit at like the height of the city and learn. Meaning, don't sit in a place where everyone's passing by because it's going to be distracting. Go study in a place where you can focus. Okay. That's interesting. Don't live in a city where the leaders of the city are Talmidei Chachamim, because if the Talmidei Chachamim, they're going to be busy learning, they're not going to be spending enough time tending to the needs of the city. Very, very interesting. Because you might think, oh wow, let me move to the city, the head of the city is big Talmid Chacham. Lav davka. The head of the city needs to be busy doing head of city stuff. Don't go into your house suddenly, because who knows, maybe people are doing things in there that give them warning before you come in. And certainly your friend's house, don't just storm into your friend's house, who knows what's going on in there. Do not hold back shoes from your feet. Always make sure that you have shoes to wear. Wake up early and eat. Interesting. In the summer, because of the heat. Okay, what? Because I guess it's going to get hotter out and you want to eat before then? Okay. And in the winter, because of the cold. Okay, what? It's going to get colder during the day? I figured it's colder at night. Anyways, alright. Wake up early and eat. In the summer because of the heat, and in the winter because of the cold. And as we saw a few minutes ago, Rabbi Akiva now instructed his son, better to make your Shabbos mundane rather than to have to rely upon donations. And try to do business with somebody who is doing well in business, who's having good fortune. Now, Papa says, now, this doesn't apply to buying things from him, or to selling things to him, because since he's, things are going his way, he's going to get the better end of the deal, memele. However, they do some kind of partnership with him, and then your geschäft will sort of be taken up on his momentum, and yours will be successful as well. But now that Rav Shmuel Bar Yitzchak said, what does the pasuk say at the beginning of Eov, describing the success of Eov? Ma'asiyadav berachta, that you blessed the work of his hands. Period. That anybody who would, accept a pruta from Eov would be blessed. So there we see that Eov was a successful person, and anybody who would do business with him would be blessed. So we see from the statement of Rav Shmuel Bar Yitzchak that actually, when you have a person who is experiencing a lot of good fortune and success, so it is a good idea to do business with that person, and you will also get on that train and be successful as well. Very interesting. 5 things Rabbi Akiva commanded or instructed Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai when Rabbi Akiva was in jail. As we learned at the end of Masechta Brachos, Rabbi Akiva went to jail for teaching Torah Barabim. So Amar lo Rebbe lamdeni Torah. So Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai then went to jail to visit Rabbi Akiva, and he said to Rabbi Akiva, teach me Torah. Amar eini melamedcha. Rabbi Akiva says, are you crazy? I can't teach you. I just went to jail for teaching Torah. I can't teach you Torah when I'm in jail over here. So then Reb Shimon says to Rabbi Akiva, look, if you don't teach me Torah, I'm going to tell on you to my father Yochai. I don't know who his father was, but okay, I don't know if maybe his father Yochai was powerful, or maybe it was just kind of like a threat of sorts. But he says, look, Rabbi Akiva, if you don't teach me Torah, then I'm going to tell my father Yochai, and we're going to send you over to the king. Meaning, if you think it's bad now, it's going to be worse. We're going to send you off to an even worse prison. So Amrlo b'ni Yosef Masha'ega Rotzalinak Pari Rotzalanik. To which Rabbi Akiva says, look, more than the calf wants to drink from its mother wants to provide to the calf. Kilu, trust me, Rabbi Shimon, more than you want to learn from me, I want to teach you. So Amrlo, to which Rabbi Shimon says, Umi basakana, valo ega basakana. But Rabbi Shimon says, yeah, but still, it's very nice that the mother wants to nurse the calf, but it's the calf that's actually, it's more crucial. It's more life and death for the calf. He mamish needs to drink and eat and live. So Reb Shimon says, look, but it's very nice, Rabbi Akiva, that you really want to teach me, but Lemaisa, if you don't teach me, I need this Torah. So Amrlo, so Rabbi Akiva now kind of cryptically transitions into teaching 5 things. And this is a very interesting first one. In Bikashta Lechonik, Hisala Be'ilan Gadol. If you want to be strangled from a large tree. What do you guys think about that? How do you understand that? So I'm kind of understanding it at like go all out kind of thing. Kilu, if you want to do something silly and you're taking a risk or something, well, then there's no looking back. Just go as far as you can and just go straight to the top or whatever. So Mikash Lechonik, if you want to strangle yourself, well then don't mess around. Get a really big tree and strangle yourself from that tree. I don't know. What do you want me to tell you? And if you're teaching your child, teach him only from a book that has been proofread and checked to make sure that the content is accurate. Mahi, how come? What is this? It's talking about like a child who's learning for the first time. Because mistakes, once they are absorbed, they stick. And therefore, if you have this child who's now learning for the first time, whatever comes in might be there for eternity, forever, for his lifetime. So therefore, make sure that whatever you're teaching is accurate. Don't cook in the pot that your friend cooked in. Mind you, what does this mean? Cooking pots? Grusha b'chaye baila. It means that do not marry a divorcee while her ex-husband is still alive. Okay? Because we say, Garush shenosa grusha arbadeos bemita. Because if you have two divorced people who marry each other, you have 4 people in the bed. Alright? Those who say that this actually even applies to a widow who her ex-husband or her previous husband is not even alive anymore. So it sounds like this wouldn't necessarily be a concern once he passes away. But the Fishenko, it's bo shavos, suwa. So because, well, lemaisa, every man's penis is a different size, and therefore even if she's an almana and her original husband is no longer alive, but still the experience will be different, and if she's unimpressed, she might hate you, says the Rashbam. Alright? Mitzvah v'guf gadol ochel peris v'lo sacher. So if you want to do a mitzvah and also be able to at the same time benefit from it, get reward from it, kilu, material reward, so then give somebody fruits and also take the reward. Meaning, and we've also seen this in different contexts, like the best way to kind of help somebody out is to like give them a job. So the best way to be able to help somebody out would be to, let's say, give them a field or something, and then they can use the field, but you also, by giving them the field, you get like a steep discount from your stuff. So you get to kind of benefit from like getting discounts, but also help out this person to be able to have a field and produce and a way to make a living. Schar mitzvah v'guf tahor no seisha v'lobanim. And if you want to do a mitzvah and also be pure, be tahor, so marry a woman even if you already have children. Meaning, if you have children and you get divorced or your wife passes away, so even though you're makayim the mitzvah pur revu because you already have children, but nonetheless, better to get married rather than to remain unmarried. Yeah. So there are 4 things that Rebbe instructed his children. So don't live in shchansiv, okay, because there are a bunch of clowns darting. And they're going to make you a clown. And why would you want to be a clown? Don't sit on an Aramean bed. This is a Gemara from Brachos, Daf Ches. Those who say, which is interesting though, because over there in Brachos, it was Rava was teaching it to his children. Over here, it's Rebbe. Interesting. Do you think that they both taught it to their children, or do you think that maybe, I don't know, One place it's quoted as Rava, one is Rebbe. I don't know. Those who say what this means is don't go to sleep without saying Kriya Shema. Okay? Like the Arameans do. They just go straight to sleep. We talk and say Kriya Shema. Those who say what it means is don't marry a convert. Okay? Because the Gemara that says that, up to 10 generations, I think, do not disparage a non-Jew in front of a convert. So therefore, this Aramis, who's a non-Jew, I don't know, don't marry somebody who converted from being an Aramis. Alright, Beseder. To those who say, literally don't sleep on a bed that's owned by an Aramean. Because of a story with Rav Papa that he was in business, in the beer business, and he had to collect payment or something from an Aramean woman, and she said, why don't you sit on the bed? And you did, and there was a dead baby, and it became a scandal. You had to run away, a whole thing. Don't try to run away from paying taxes, right? Death and taxes, the only two things guaranteed in life. Because if you get busted, they're going to take everything. So Rebbe says, don't mess with the tax people. Get an accountant, that you don't have to pay more tax than you need to, but it's probably better not to do mashinikra tax evasion. Do not stand in front of a ox when it comes out of the pond. If it's like drinking and now it comes out, watch out. Because the Satan is dancing between its horns, and it's not a good space to be in when you have a ox with Satan between its horns. Stay away. Says Shmuel that we're talking about a black ox in the days of Nisan. It's like around now. So if you see a black ox coming out of the swamp or the pond, stay away because Satan is dancing between its horns. Rav Oshaya says that we stay away from just like a regular ox, 50 amos, from a ox that's already been warned, that is like gored 3 times. So then, you don't even want to be in its sight. Tanvish Reb Meir, who was taught in the name of Reb Meir, that even if the head of the ox is in its feeding basket, so it's not even paying attention to you, nonetheless, go up to your roof as fast as you can and get rid of the ladder so that there's no chance that this ox can follow you up there and hurt you. Amarav, says Rav, Niza de Torah, hein hein. I don't know, the cry of the ox is hein hein. What, I guess to get rid of them? Niza de Aryeh is zezeh. The cry of the lion is zezeh. Niza de Gamla is da da. So the cry of the camel is da da. Niza de Arava, and the cry of the boat, I don't know, is Hilne Heya Hila Vihilu Kulya. I don't know, what do you want me to tell you? Amar Abaye says, Abaye, or v'dag v'chos chamenu veitzim v'chinim levanim kulan kashan l'davar acher. Okay, hides, fish, cups, hot water, eggs, and white lice are bad for tsaras. Or mandagani amishcha ditzala. So hide, we're talking about hides, somebody who sleeps on hide that is in the middle of the tanning process. Dag shivuta biyoma Nisan. Fish is referring to the shivuta fish in the month of Nisan, in the days of Nisan. Kos, what's kos? Shure kasa de harsna, the leftover fried fish. Chamin, chamime de chamime mishaju ilave. So chamin, hot water, is referring to if you put too much hot water on yourself so you can get saras. Beitzim, what's eggs? Man demajacha klipim. Okay, somebody who steps on eggshells. Kinim levanim, what are these white lice? Man demachvar levushe, somebody who cleans his clothing, v'lonatrele, and then he doesn't guard it, Tamanya Yome, for 8 days, Vadulavushla, and then he wears it. Bari and Hanachkinim Vikoshin Davracher. So there's all these lice, and you can get and you can get saras, leprosy. Amar Papa says, a Papa based at the east Beishunra. If you have a house with a cat, lo neoba inish, don't go into the house below misane without shoes. My time, how come? Mishum deshunra kata lechivya, because cats kill snakes, v'achile, and eat them. Ve'izbe bechivya gar miktine, and in the snakes there are these little bones. Ve'yosef la gar medechivya akare lo nafik v'stakenle. And if you get a snake bone, one of these little snake bones in your foot, well then it won't come out and it can become dangerous. So therefore, if you're going in a house with a cat, wear shoes. Ikadamar, to those who say based at delays beishunra lo neobe inish. To those who say no, taka. If there's a house without a cat, you shouldn't go in it be'akera at night. My time, how come? Well, because if there's no cat, well then there might be snakes there. And if there are snakes, you can get hurt. So don't go into a house that doesn't have a cat at night. Okay. There are three things that Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Yossi commanded Rabbi. Now I assume, my assumption is that Kilu Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Yossi was quoting the name of his father. Otherwise, why would Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Yossi be commanding Rebbe? I mean, Rebbe was like the leader. Why would Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Yossi be commanding? Because also we see right after this, Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Yehuda also commanded Rebbe. I suspect that Kilu, Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Yossi and Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Yehuda were saying things to Rebbe in the name of their respective fathers, Rabbi Yossi and Rabbi Yehuda. I assume. Don't make a blemish in yourself. Mahi, what does it mean, don't make a blemish in yourself? It means don't shoot yourself in the foot. Don't go to court against three people. You're not going to win. Because what's going to happen is they're going to team up against you. One is going to be like, your baldin. He's going to be like litigating against you. And then the other two are going to serve as witnesses for him, and you have no chance. Don't hold up a purchase if you don't have any money. Meaning, if there's something that you want to buy but you don't have money to buy it, well, don't mislead the seller to imply that you're going to buy it because somebody else might buy it, and if you don't have the money, you're not going to buy it, and he's going to miss an opportunity. Do not sleep with your wife on the first night that she comes out of the mikvah. Amrab of nida de oraisa. Says Rab, this is specifically talking about nida de oraisa, which we don't do nowadays. Right? Nida de oraisa is that if a woman sees dam, so then she's in nida for 7 days, and then after 7 days she's already tahor, and she goes to the mikvah, and now she's tahor. However, she could have even seen dam nida that day. And the rules like mayam pasuach, since she has a chazaka that there's a mayam pasuach that she could see dam all of those 7 days, so there's a chance that there might still be dam that night, and then there could be ziva. So says this. Was it a brisa, or was it the third? Oh, I guess that this was the third piece of advice. Was don't sleep with your wife on the first night after she's in ida mida oraisa, because maybe there could be ziva over there. Okay. Now we see that Rabbi Yossi, the son of Rabbi Yehuda, also gave Rabbi some instructions. Don't go out at night alone. Don't stand in front of a candle naked. And don't go into a new bathhouse. Because we're concerned that maybe the floor of the bathhouse could kind of collapse, and that wouldn't be good. How long should you wait? Wait up to 12 months before using a new bathhouse. Interesting. Don't stand in front of a candle naked, as we learn in the Brisa. That somebody who stands in front of a candle naked, he's going to get epilepsy. And somebody who has intercourse by candlelight, so then he's going to have children who are epileptic. Oy. The rabbis taught him, if somebody has intercourse on a bed that a child is sleeping on, also tinok nichpa, that child is going to get epilepsy. But that's only if the child is less than a year old. But if the child is a year old already, so then you don't have to be concerned about epilepsy. And that's also only if the baby is sleeping by your feet. But if he's sleeping by your head, so then don't worry about it. That's also only if you are not holding, resting your hand upon the baby. But if you're resting your hand upon the baby, don't worry about it. Don't go out at night alone, as we learn in a brisa. Don't go out alone at night. Not on Tuesday night, not on Friday night. Well, because Igras Bas Machlas is out. That's like some nasty demon. And she's out with 180,000, I think. Yeah, I think Rebo is 10,000, and times 18 is 180,000, I think. And there's 180,000 destructive angel fellows. And each one of these 180,000 demonic chevre are able to have permission to damage. Now, initially, these demons and Igras, what was her name? Igras Bas Machlas was out on a rampage every single night. One time, she encountered Reb Chanina ben Dosa. She said to him, if not for the fact that they announced in the heavens, be careful about Reb Chanina ben Dosa and his Torah, if not for the fact that in the heavens they announced that, I would hurt you, I would damage you. Reb Chanina ben Dosa said to her, well, if I'm so important in the heavens, well then I decree upon you that you should never run around in the towns anymore. She said to him, please, Shvakli Ravcha Porta, at least let me run around a little bit. So Shavakla Lele Shabbosos Vlele Revi'ios. So Reb Chanina ben Dosa said, all right, fine. You can run around on Tuesday nights and Friday nights, but I don't want to see you running around the rest of the week. All right. Now this is super interesting. It says Vesu, and another time Chadazimna Pagabe Ba'abaye. Igras Bas Machlas Taka once bumped into Abaye. Amrle, and she said to him, if not for the fact that they announced in the heavens, be careful about Nachmani. Nachmani was a reference to Abaye, because Abaye grew up in the house of Rabba bar Nachmani. So they called Rabba bar Nachmani is Rabba. So they called Abaye Nachmani. So Igras Bas Machla said, if not for the fact that they announced in the heavens, be careful about Nachmani, be careful about Abaye, I would damage you. Amarla. Abaye said to her, well, if I'm so important in the heavens, well then you should never be running around. Get out of here, I don't want to see you ever again, don't ever come back. But 1 second, we do see that Igras Bas Machlas sometimes is roaming around the neighborhoods. So Amrei, no, Hanigaz Yosendinu Teshamte Susya Vasu Davilu. No, those are just demons who fell off their horse and they're coming back into town to find their horse. But that's not that's apparently different. Okay, what's super interesting about that is okay, Reb Chanina ben Dosa, I get. Reb Chanina ben Dosa, there's all these miracle stories with Reb Chanina ben Dosa. It's not surprising that they announce in the heavens, be careful by Reb Chanina ben Dosa. What's interesting to me is that they say that even about Abaye. I mean, Abaye is amazing, but it doesn't strike me as that kind of magical quality of demons knowing about him because they announce in the heavens, be careful about Abaye. Interesting that he's in that same context. Anyways, Chevra, so that was Daf Kuf Yud Beis of Masechta Pesachim. Yeah, it was kind of out there. I hope you enjoyed. Peace out.